So you waited until everybody hated her to finally say you never liked her? Interesting. Because where was all this honesty when everything was just fine? I've been seeing this play out online recently, and it really got me thinking about something much deeper than influencer drama, friendships, or social media. Why do people wait until it's socially acceptable to finally say what they've been thinking all along? Hey guys, if you're new here, my name is Nancy Glow. On this channel, I share reflections on womanhood, self-awareness, intentional living, personal growth, and everyday life. Sometimes that looks like fashion, beauty, and lifestyle content. Other times, it looks like conversations like this, where we take everyday situations and use them as a lens to better understand ourselves and the world around us. Because I'm less interested in what happened and more interested in what happened reveals about us. Today, I want to talk about why people wait until it's safe to finally be honest. Now, before we get into this, I want to be clear. This conversation was inspired by some recent discussions that have been happening online, particularly in the beauty space, involving Jackie Aina, Patrick Ta, Painted by Esther, and a few other situations that have played out publicly. But honestly, I'm less interested in who was right, who was wrong, who said what. What caught my attention was the response. Because I've noticed something. Whenever someone falls out publicly, all of a sudden, people from out of nowhere just suddenly find their voice. And that is what I want to talk about today. Because we've seen it all happen. Someone falls out of favor. Someone becomes unpopular. Suddenly, everyone has something to say. Oh, I never liked her. Oh, I knew she's been like that. And my favorite one, oh, I've been waiting for this. Really? You've been waiting for someone's downfall? Interesting. She's always been like that. Something is, I've been new. Okay, girl. We see you. And that's when I realized that this conversation isn't really about honesty. I think a lot of people confuse courage with convenience. Speaking when everyone agrees with you is easy because you see the head nods, see people, yeah, sis, yeah, clock it, Speaking when people are against you, when you can feel the tension in the room, you can cut it with a knife, but you still stand on what you say no matter what. Oh, honey, if you've never experienced that, having those hard conversations in an environment that you can feel the tension, if you've never experienced that, let me tell you, it's not pretty. Speaking when everyone disagrees with you costs something. So what's the difference between the two? One of them requires conviction. The other one requires permission. Is it really your opinion, or did you wait until the crowd made it safe? There is a difference between discernment and dogpiling. There's a difference between deciphering and mob mentality. I need you to let that sit. And this is where I think the real issue begins, because when most people talk about this, they always want to focus on what was said. But I'm very much curious and more interested in when it was said, because timing reveals a lot. In moments like this, waiting on someone's downfall, waiting until the world hates that person to now be like, yes, this is the moment I've been waiting for. This is my time to shine. Don't you think you need Jesus? I think you need Jesus. I do. If you genuinely felt that way, why didn't you say it from the beginning? And you know what else is sometimes weird? Most times it could also come from people that are close to you, people that you didn't even think you had an issue with. Then all of a sudden, you're seeing them have all this anger and vitriol towards you. Meanwhile, they were just kikiing with you last week. Isn't that weird? Why didn't you say it when people still liked them? Because that's the part I can't stop thinking about. And I think it's because honesty sounds different when it comes with consequences. It's easy to be honest when everybody agrees. It's much harder when you might stand alone. I think one of the rarest forms of courage today is the ability to stand on an opinion before it's popular, before it's trending, before it's validated, because that's when you find out what you actually believe. Not when the crowd agrees, not when everybody's clapping, not when there's a social reward attached to it. Before everybody arrives at the same conclusion. It's more courageous to stand on an opinion that it's something you believe and still have that courage, even if it costs you something. That is very courageous. And I'm learning that even at most of our big ages, a lot of us are incapable of that. And I think that's why conviction is so rare, because conviction doesn't need permission. Conviction doesn't wait for confirmation. Conviction stands even when it's standing alone. And I don't necessarily think it's a crime or it's bad when someone does have an opinion on someone or someone doesn't like someone. It's okay if you don't like her, but instead of waiting for their downfall or waiting for that moment, they choose to just go on about their day. They don't feel the need to get a microphone and start airing their views. And before we start pointing fingers at everybody else, I think it's very important for each and every single one of us to start asking ourselves some hard questions. Have I ever waited until it's safe? Have I ever stayed quiet because I didn't want the backlash? I know a lot of us are on this table, myself included, but even me, myself, I'm also learning the importance of when to air my views and when to just sit this one out. Because I myself understand that it's not every situation and everything that I need to be vocal about. Another question that we should ask ourselves is, have I ever known what I thought, but waited for someone else to say it first? Because if we're honest, most of us have. At the end of the day, this is a mirror and a self-reflection on us to say, okay, yeah, that is weird when people do that. But do I do that? Is that something that I need to reflect on? And I think one of the most important questions that we would need to ask ourselves is this: would I still stand on this even if nobody agreed? Because agreement and courage are not the same thing. So the next time you find yourself speaking up, ask yourself, am I speaking from conviction or am I speaking from convenience? And that is a question that only you can answer. If you enjoy this conversation, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and definitely hit the notification bell for when my next video comes out. I'd love to hear your thoughts below. Until next time. Okay, bye.